You know, when you picture a massive water project, you probably think of giant concrete dams, right? Huge feats of brute force engineering. But what if I told you there's an ancient system that has tamed a mighty river for over 2 millennia, and it was built without a single dam? It's a story of engineering so brilliant, it actually works in perfect harmony with nature.
Yeah, you heard that right, over 2,200 years. And get this, it's not some ruin or an ancient relic. The Dujiangyan Irrigation System is a living, breathing piece of history that is still watering a vast plain and protecting millions of people today. The fact that it's still working is just staggering.
And that really brings us to the core mystery here. How on earth did engineers, 2 centuries before the Common Era, design a system so flawlessly that it has outlasted entire empires and dynasties? This is way more than just an old structure. It's a masterclass in ingenuity that completely flips our modern approach to engineering on its head.
Okay, so to really appreciate the genius of the solution, we first have to understand the sheer scale of the problem they were facing. We're going back to ancient China, to the Sichuan province, where the Min River just comes roaring out of the mountains and spills onto the Chengdu Plain.
And we're not talking about some gentle, life-giving river here. This thing was a destructive force of nature, nicknamed the Raging Dragon. Every spring and summer, snowmelt from the mountains would cause these catastrophic floods that would just wipe out everything. And then, in the dry season, the plain would suffer from terrible droughts. It was a constant, brutal cycle of feast or famine, flood or thirst.
The transformation was, well, it was night and day. Before this project, the Chengdu Plain was a land of constant, terrifying uncertainty. But after it was built, it became one of the most fertile and reliably productive agricultural regions in all of China. It even earned a new name, the Land of Abundance. The stakes couldn't have been higher, and the success was total.
So, how did they do it? How did they solve this impossible problem? Well, back in the 3rd century BCE, a local governor named Li Bing and his son decided to finally tackle the Raging Dragon. But instead of trying to slay it with brute force, they did something radical. They chose to understand its nature and just gently guide its power. And their solution was nothing short of a masterpiece.
What they came up with is this incredibly elegant design made of 3 interconnected parts, each with a beautifully poetic name. You have the fishmouth levee, the flying sand weir, and the bottleneck channel. Together, these 3 parts form a single self-regulating system that works with the river, not against it.
All right, so the first part is the fishmouth, and it's amazing because of how simple it is. It's basically a carefully shaped man-made island that they placed right in the middle of the river. Its cone-shaped head just naturally splits the water into 2 streams, an inner stream that's used for irrigation and an outer stream that just continues on as the main river. It's the first, crucial step in dividing and conquering the river's immense force.
Now, the second component is the flying sand weir, and this is where you start to see the real genius of the design. It's a low barrier built right next to that inner irrigation stream. Now, during the dry season, the water just flows past it, no problem. But during flood season, as the water level rises, it acts like an automatic safety valve. Excess water, and this is the critical part, all the heavy silt and rocks, gets skimmed right off the top and diverted back into the outer river. It's a self-cleaning, self-regulating system, no moving parts needed.
And the final piece of this amazing puzzle is the bottleneck channel. This was a colossal undertaking. I mean, they had to literally carve a 20-meter wide channel straight through a mountain. This channel acts as the final gatekeeper. It makes sure that only a precise, controlled amount of clear water gets into the irrigation network that feeds the whole plain. It's basically the tap that turns that raging river into a reliable, life-giving resource.
So, okay, we've seen the nuts and bolts of how it all works. But the real reason it's lasted for 2,200 years? That comes down to its core philosophy. It's a profound lesson in working with nature, not against it. A true legacy of harmony over force.
The system's true brilliance is just how it adapts to the seasons. In the dry season, when water is precious, the shape of the fishmouth naturally sends more of the flow into the inner irrigation channel. But in the flood season, when there's way too much water, that same design naturally pushes most of the river into the wider, outer channel while the weir skims off the rest. There are no computers, no sensors, no moving parts. It's just pure, brilliant fluid dynamics.
And this is the fundamental difference. A modern dam is a wall. It stops a river dead in its tracks. It's all about brute force, which creates immense pressure and all sorts of ecological problems. Dujiangyan does the complete opposite. It accepts the river's energy and just gently persuades it. It splits the flow, siphons off the excess, and guides what's needed to the right place. It's less like boxing and more like Aikido, using your opponent's energy against.
Li Bing, the guy who designed it all, left behind this 6-character mantra for how to maintain the system, and it perfectly captures his philosophy. Dredge the riverbeds deep and keep the dikes low. In other words, don't try to fight the river with high walls. Instead, give it a clear, deep path to follow. Work with its natural flow. This profound, simple wisdom is the reason his creation is still working perfectly today.
So as we face our own modern challenges, resource management, climate change, the story of Dujiangyan feels more relevant than ever. It really forces us to ask a tough question. In our constant push for progress, how have we forgotten the timeless wisdom of working in harmony with nature instead of always trying to dominate it? The 2,200-year legacy of Dujiangyan suggests we have a whole lot to relearn.